is to the 2 million federal employees.
I was a Trump supporter.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
Guess who just got fired?
Never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote.
So these layoffs have been absolutely insane, and federal employees are now starting to regret their votes for President Trump. Let's get to it.
I mean, it was an illegal firing. My performance was good. I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing. I was even one of those government employees that went every day of the week. I had to report every Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. That was my tour duty, and that's what I served. And here I am. I was a Trump supporter. When he talks about government waste and all that, yes, I'm behind it. I believe there is a lot of stuff in the government that needs fixing. And that's part of the reason why I actually wanted to work for the government, to help change the things that are wrong in the world, I thought that someone with like his business acumen would have come in with a fine-tooth comb and actually found it, instead of coming in with a wrecking ball and destroying people's lives for no reason.
Before we get into this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy great content like this. But guys, he hit the nail on the spot, man. Since Trump got into office, there have been bills at the changes. It's been non-stop since the day the inauguration happened. And it's crazy, don't get me wrong. Some of this stuff actually needed to happen. But I honestly feel bad for so many federal workers out there who just got their feet swept from up under them, and it's gone. Like, they lost their complete job within a day. Now, there are a lot of people who are getting their jobs back. Now, I've been seeing it all over. He's calling people back because they're finding out that a lot of jobs are actually needed. And now they're dealing with the repercussions of it. But I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of people got laid off. You know what I mean, from the jump. So I get it. They're trying to cut waste, bring costs down, cut the useless jobs out there. I get it. But at the end of the day, there's different ways to get it. Now people are regretting their votes.
This is to the 2 million federal employees Trump wants to see either bow down or disappear. He doesn't have the authority to fire you. He doesn't have the authority to buy you out, and he does not have the authority to command your loyalty, because those are not powers given to the president. So he's asking you to do it for him, because just like on the spending freeze, he's poking around for easy wins, because difficult wins require him to do his actual job. And that's something he just can't do, because he doesn't understand his own job, just like he doesn't understand you, what you do, who you work for, or why you show up for work. He doesn't understand the selflessness required to be a civil servant, and he doesn't understand serving a cause greater than himself. He doesn't understand the dams you operate, the power grids you inspect, or the foods you help keep safe. He doesn't understand the beauty that national parks protect, and he doesn't understand the communities and the people you serve. He doesn't understand what you do for this country, and he can't understand why you do it, because at his most fundamental level, Trump is a broken, failed man full of resentment. He pities himself for being born without the gene required to feel empathy or understand sacrifice, how a person could work without ego, lavish privilege, recognition, or praise. So he's lashing out like a cornered dog bound by the chains of checks and balances. You should not let him fool you, because he does not understand his own limitations, and he won't understand it when you tell him he doesn't deserve your resignation and he doesn't deserve your loyalty, but you'll work through him and past him all the same.
Guess who just got fired via phone call? Me! I was a forestry technician for the USDA Forest Service, and my crew dealt with timber sales and management. So think salvage sales, wildfire mitigation, American lumber product, forest and ecosystem health. So I was still in my probationary period, and I was 3 months away from getting my 1 year. I have put 5 years of my career into public service and natural resources, and this is how we are getting treated right now. Now, my supervisor can't answer any of my questions, like what's going to happen to my last paycheck, because they're going to log us out and we won't be able to put in our time. What's going to happen to my health insurance? Am I going to get my separation form, my final one? Because I need that paperwork to apply for unemployment. And these are not merit-based firings. All of my performance reviews my entire career have been stellar, nothing under fully successful. And the legality of this is questionable at best. So I guess if anybody knows any good federal employee lawyers or anyone I can talk to about this, because Yeah, this is definitely making my life a lot harder right now. I had to get put on anxiety medication because of all of this stress. It kind of felt a little bit like a weight was lifted off my shoulders when I got the phone call, because now I don't have to worry if I'm gonna be fired anymore because it already happened. But, you know, just fucking ridiculous. It's very much giving tech bro layoff. And for those who don't know, there are certain processes and procedures that must be done before a reduction in force can be enacted. And according to my supervisor, they had zero prior knowledge that this was about to happen. So let's see what happens next, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy out here, guys. And I've been scrolling on my feed on TikTok, just seeing all kind of people just talking about, oh, they regret their votes. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comment section. Is there really a lot of people regretting their votes after these layoffs or after the welfare and all these things that's been going on in the country? Let me know. Are y'all regretting your votes? I don't know, guys. I'm not super political at the end of the day. All I want, I'm not either one side or the other, because at the end of the day, all I care about is who's putting more money in my pockets and who's gonna help me buy a house within the next 5 years. That's all I want. I just want to buy a house next year.
I was one of the thousands of federal workers terminated this weekend. Let's talk about it. Am I surprised? No. I was working for a federal health agency, so once RFK Jr. was confirmed last week, and they started almost immediately with the CDC and firing off 1,300 probationary workers on Friday, I knew that my time was coming very shortly after, and I got my email on Saturday. It was from an email I've never seen before. It was something like important HR notification at agency.gov, an email I've never seen before. It didn't come from one of my managers or direct supervisors. I haven't heard from anybody superior to me. I just got that email letting me know I was terminated for performance. The email said something along the lines of, the agency does not see my current skills and abilities as fit for continued employment, and therefore they are terminating my employment.
Now, this is just one of the people who got laid off out of the thousands of people who work for the federal government right now, guys. So hey, it's crazy out there, but it's only gonna get worse.
You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
Who voted for Donald Trump and now regret it?
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for...
Are y'all okay? Because as someone myself who has never, ever worked a day in my life in the public sector, seeing folks who work in the private sector celebrate federal workers losing their jobs and getting laid off, are y'all okay? You do realize that these are highly skilled, highly trained, highly educated people that you will now have to compete with in the workforce to get a job? These same people who were probably doing more than you and getting paid less, who are now going to compete for your job and might just be okay getting paid less? Why are you celebrating? I'm genuinely confused who you think the government was employing. Do you know how competitive those jobs are? The lack of thinking right now.
Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, it's very important to be informed about who you vote for, all right? Because there are so many people, and honestly, a lot of them are being quiet right now because, you know, they're sticking and trusting the process. And I understand, right? You don't want to come out and just say, hey, this is what it is. But at the end of the day, I know there are so many people who out there are just being silent, and that's okay. That don't mean you have to just blurt out and say, oh, I regret my vote. But at the end of the day, you know, we do have a few examples here that people saying that they regret their vote. And At the end of the day, it's all about being informed, guys, because during the entire campaign last year, these were things that were being talked about. Cutting down costs within the government. That was one of the biggest talking points throughout the whole campaign, guys. It was trimming the fat, trim the waste within the government. And now that's happened. Now, like I said earlier, he dropped the bomb on it, but at the same time, you have to be careful and understand every single thing. You have to be informed, make informed decisions about your life.
Well, in irony that should surprise no one, a man who was stopped by ICE agents at gunpoint earlier this week and briefly detained before being released is now saying that he regrets his vote for Donald Trump. Hensi Machado, an American citizen who was stopped at gunpoint on the way to work earlier this week with 2 other men in the vehicle, was detained and questioned by ICE agents. They initially did not believe him when he said that he could produce ID showing that he was indeed an American citizen, but eventually they found out that he was telling the truth and did let him go. Now, the stop itself did have some merit because Mr. Machado's home address was provided by someone who was under a deportation order that they were looking for. And ultimately, Mr. Machado did not know who this man was, and so ICE released him. In interviews after the incident, Hensi said that he was surprised that he was detained in this manner as an American citizen and just assumed ICE would only go after the criminals, not everyone that looks like him. And I just have to say, is it really surprising?
For the first time ever, I regret voting Republican. Lost my job today. Was cut out by Doge. I'd had that job for 20 years. I was part of the Piper study. It's and we were so close to solving this, and now it's, I guess we will never know. It's I mean, we were studying the best way to pickle peppers and how many peppers can you get in a peck? We may never know. We just may never know now. It's I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, there are so many people on TikTok rage baiting right now. They're trying to spark some controversy, guys, and it's all over. But I mean, it's humor, but at the same time, the overall message of it is there are so many people within the government that are just not really working. They're kind of just, hanging around, and there probably is truth behind it. At the end of the day, there probably is. I don't know. I'm not super into it, but at the end of the day, this is all a part of the plan. And if you voted for this, then, hey, you got to be informed next time. But hey, at the end of the day, we're here right now. This is only the beginning, all right? So understand that. So put your seatbelt on and embrace the ride, all right? We got a long 4 years to go.
I got laid off this morning. I was supposed to have the day off. The whole company was supposed to be off. I get a phone call from my boss, and she goes, I need you to check your email. The sales director wants to have a meeting with you. I'm like, okay, I'll go check my email. I'm at home, it's fine. So I have a meeting invite from the sales director titled Meeting with HR. HR! Everyone who is in the corporate world knows that it's never a good thing when you have a meeting with HR, because it normally only means one thing. And it normally means that you're losing your job. So I get ready for this call. I go put my makeup on, go put on my mascara, because I know I'm probably going to have my camera on. And what do you know? They say, we're going to eliminate your position. We are trying to save money. Yada, yada, yada. And they go through all this stuff that you're never gonna remember, because your life just changed within the blink of an eye. And the crazy thing is that my boss didn't even know that this was happening. When she called me, I called her back and I was like, well, what's the issue? I see HR is on this meeting. And she's like, I don't know, I'll drive home for this meeting. So then I just have to you have to sit there with your camera on after they just delivered like the worst news ever. Like,
So yeah, we're gonna leave it right there, guys. At the end of the day, it's very important, no matter which side you are on, it doesn't matter. You have to be informed about the decisions you make in your life. Make the best decisions for your life and best decisions for your family's life and people around you. That's it. Make the right decision. At the end of the day, no matter which side, what do you benefit from? What is it that benefits your life in the end of the day? So hey, yes, it's very unfortunate out here, guys. I really feel bad for all the people that got laid off in the workforce, in the government, guys, because it's not just the federal government, it's the federal government, it's the VA, it's all these entities within the government, guys. It's so many layers to it, and it's scary out here. Hit this video right here if you're interested in all the food stamp and welfare fraud that's happening in America today. All right, I'll see you guys next video. We out. Let's go.